There's a force within you that quietly calls your name. It doesn't shout. It doesn't push. But it moves you, gently, with a kind of energy that's hard to explain and impossible to ignore. It's that feeling of pure aliveness. A subtle spark in your chest. A quiet thrill that lights up your eyes without effort. It's when something just feels right. That feeling is your highest excitement. And it's not random. It's not a coincidence. It's your inner compass. A sacred code leading you straight to your truest purpose. Ignoring it is like wandering through life blindfolded. But the moment you start following it, even without knowing where it leads, the path begins to reveal itself. Doors open, synchronicities appear, and everything starts to move, not by force, but by flow. It doesn't mean making drastic changes overnight. Sometimes it's as subtle as a whisper, a small nudge, like the sudden urge to explore something new. An idea that sparks joy, even if you don't know why. Maybe you feel drawn to learn an instrument, to create something with your hands, to move to a new place, or to sign up for that strange course no one understands, but your heart says yes. Sometimes, it's simply taking a walk in a different direction, for no reason at all. And here's the truth: it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It doesn't even have to make sense to you. Because it knows. It always knows. Your highest excitement is not just a quick thrill. It's not the rush you feel when you buy something new, or chase a distraction to fill the silence. It runs deeper, much deeper. It's a quiet energy that rises from within. It doesn't beg for attention, but you feel it, clearly, gently, pulling you forward. You don't need to push yourself. You don't need to force anything. You just feel drawn. And that feeling is your signal. It's not about success. It's not about what others think. It's not about proving anything. Sometimes, your excitement lives in the simplest places. In writing alone on a rainy afternoon. In caring for your plants. In organizing your space. In learning about something strange, something no one else around you understands, but something in you lights up. It could be cooking, painting, studying something obscure, or sharing an idea that keeps coming back, again and again. It's when you lose track of time, and find yourself fully present. It doesn't drain you, it fills you. Even if it's challenging, you come out feeling more alive, more connected. That is your inner compass. That's your soul saying, right here, this way. And no, it doesn't have to make sense right now. You don't need all the answers. You just need to feel and follow. When you follow what excites you, something begins to shift. Your energy changes. Your frequency rises. And the moment that happens, life starts to respond differently. It's like tuning into the right frequency, and suddenly, everything clicks. You think about someone, and they text you. You feel pulled toward a random idea, and somehow, you stumble across a book, a video, or a person, talking about exactly that. You take a different route one day, and meet someone who opens a door you didn't even know existed. These are not coincidences. They're synchronicities. Winks from the universe. Confirmations that you're aligned. Maybe you start a small creative project, just for fun. No plan. No expectations. And suddenly, someone notices. Shares it. And opportunities begin to show up. Maybe you feel the urge to move to a new city, even though it scares you. And there, you find community. A job that lights you up. Or love, when you weren't even looking. This is what happens when you follow your highest excitement. It activates a kind of flow, not created by control, but by resonance. The universe doesn't speak words. It speaks in energy. And when your vibration matches joy, truth, and excitement, life moves with you. You don't need to chase. You simply attract. Because following your excitement is how your soul whispers, "I'm home." Following your excitement doesn't mean acting on impulse. It's not about dropping everything overnight or making reckless decisions. It's a conscious movement, rooted in awareness, rooted in truth. Integrity means following what lights you up without betraying yourself in the process. It means honoring your values, respecting your limits, moving in alignment with who you are, not who others expect you to be. You might feel called to change your career, but that doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow. Maybe it means starting small, exploring something new on weekends, studying in the quiet hours, letting the transition unfold naturally. And just as important is letting go of expectations. Don't follow your excitement because you think it will work out, or make money fast, or get you somewhere. That's not the frequency. That's control. When you act with expectations, you shift into the mind. You try to predict, calculate, guarantee, and that blocks the flow. But when you act simply because it brings you joy, because it feels right, you open the door to magic. It's like planting a seed without demanding it bloom tomorrow. You nurture it. You trust. You let it grow on its own time. Some of the most powerful, life-changing experiences won't come because you forced them, but because you followed a quiet spark, with no idea where it would lead. And that's the key, to follow with an open heart and steady feet, with surrender and presence. Sometimes you might wonder, but what if I don't know what my highest excitement is? And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're lost. It just means you're learning how to listen. Your highest excitement doesn't always come as a big, loud calling. Most of the time, it shows up as something small, quiet, almost invisible. It might be a soft curiosity, a sudden interest in a random topic, a pull to clean your space, to take a different route, to watch a video you normally wouldn't click, to sign up for a class that doesn't make logical sense, but somehow feels right. You don't have to feel certain. You don't need to know what it will turn into. You just have to follow what feels most alive in this moment. Even if it's simple, even if it seems small, it's like walking through the dark with a lantern that only lights up the next few steps. You don't see the full path, but you see enough to keep moving. And the more you follow those little sparks, the more they multiply. The energy builds, the path expands, and suddenly, you find yourself in the middle of something beautiful. Something that makes sense in hindsight. Clarity doesn't come before the action. It comes through the action. The universe doesn't need you to have it all figured out. It just needs your yes. Even if it's quiet. Even if it's unsure. As long as it's true. Following your excitement may sound simple, but it's not always easy. Because often, right behind the excitement comes fear, doubt, resistance, the weight of what others might think. You feel the call, but then the mind steps in. What if it doesn't work? What if I'm wrong? What if they think I'm crazy? These voices are echoes of the ego, old programs designed to keep you safe, but also small. And here's the truth. Fear is not your enemy. It's a sign that you're expanding, stretching beyond your comfort zone. Fear shows up right before something new begins. It's not a wall. It's a doorway. Doubt comes too. It questions everything. Tries to convince you to stay where it's familiar, where it's safe. But doubt is just the mind. trying to understand a path that only your soul can feel. You don't need certainty to move forward. You just need enough courage to take the next step. And then there's judgment. The opinions of others. The sideways looks. The confusion in their eyes. When you choose something different. But people can only see the world through the lens of their own limitations. When you choose to follow your joy, you challenge those limitations. But that's not your burden to carry. You're not here to live someone else's idea of a normal life. You're here to honor what's real inside of you. No one else can feel what you feel. No one else can hear what your soul is whispering. This path, this calling, is yours, and only yours. You weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to remember who you really are, and live from that place. Following your highest excitement is an act of spiritual courage. It's choosing to live in alignment with your soul, even when the world tries to pull you away from yourself. You don't need to know how it all ends. You don't need a step-by-step plan. You just need to trust what's alive inside of you right now. Your highest excitement is a golden thread connecting you to your purpose. It doesn't ask for perfection. It doesn't need certainty. It simply asks for your presence, your listening, your willingness to say yes. Even the smallest step, when taken in joy, shifts everything. Because when you say yes to what lights you up, the universe says yes to you. So breathe, feel, and take the next step. With faith, with truth, with love. If this message spoke to something inside you, go ahead and like this video. Share it with someone who might need to hear it. And tell me in the comments, what small or big excitement is calling you right now? I'll see you in the next video.